Garney, and Garney never went to the Holiness Dance. He went to the Baptist, if he goes anywhere now. And then Jack.
I talked to Jack. We went down there in February, and when I was little, I remember one of the guys from the church, he'd give me $1 every time I smiled at him. And so I asked him if that was him. I was sure it was. And so we went to church that Sunday. And when it got over, I went up to him and I asked him, "Was that you?" And he said, "Yeah." And what is his wife's name?
Jenny.
Yeah, Jenny. He said, "Yeah, that when they would see me, she would say, 'Jack, there's your little buddy.'" And then after church, most of the time, if he'd see me, if I'd look over and smile at him, he'd say, "Here's your $1 for a pretty smile," or something like that. So.
Jenny and I have been close. We've been probably more like sisters and sisters-in-law.
Yeah.
She used to come one day a week, and we'd do our canning. And I think it was on Tuesdays that she came, and we canned everything. She hadn't been canning a lot. Her mother did, but she hadn't. And so one week when she came, we maybe fixed green beans and canned a bunch of green beans. And one time, she brought a bunch of apples. They had this apple tree that had some of the old-timey apples. And she brought over maybe 2 or 3 bushels. And we made a bunch of applesauce. And one week, we made beanie weenies and canned them. And one week, we made the fruit cocktail and canned it. And I mean, just every week we'd have something, and I'd cook dinner, and she would eat, and she'd fix Jack a plate and take it home with her. We did that for months, I guess. We got pretty close. Jack was the baby in the family.
Oh, yeah. How many siblings did he have altogether?
Well, he had Junior and Paul, Faye and Adele, and Garney, and Patsy, and Adele, and Jack. He had 8.
Wow.
8 siblings.
How many siblings do you have? How many siblings do you have?
2 brothers.
Okay.
And of course Louise. We always went as sisters.
Yeah.
Louise was an orphan. She was my dad's sister's baby. And her mother passed away. And Mother and Dad raised her. We were raised just like sisters.
Yeah.
Most people didn't know the difference.
Yeah.
We went to school together, graduated together, and as far as everybody knew there, we were the right sisters.
Yeah.
We had a history teacher. I guess we were juniors, maybe. I don't think we were seniors. We were juniors, I guess. And he'd be calling the roll, and he'd go down through there, and he'd say, Betty left instead of Betty right. He'd say Betty left or Louise wrong. And one day he was calling roll, and we'd been out real late at church the night before, and we didn't have air conditioner. We had this big 3-story school, big balcony over here, and all the windows were open, and it was such a beautiful, sunshiny day. And I was so tired, and I was so sleepy. And he called roll, and he said, maybe Betty left. I said, here. Well, folks, he said, looks like somebody's gonna have to wake up Betty. And he just had a big laugh. Next day, he called roll, Betty, and I said, here. He said, well, we got her awake today, folks.